Hi everyone, this is Mr. Ege and I'm going to today continue with the Lamborghini auto body design, and today I'm going to focus on the back side of where the engine is of the Lamborghini, and I just want to demonstrate to you where we are from the beginning. So I'm going to turn on the auto body layer, which I put it all one entire auto body to blue layer, even though the color is not blue. I'm going to just simply switch to current layer and demonstrate it to you. This is I'm just turning on the current blue layer, okay? And this is where we left last time, okay? All of the surfaces, we call them mesh, or AutoCAD terminology for the surfaces mesh, and we convert them into solids so that we can 3D print them. Initially, we can create those surfaces, inclined surfaces, all of them curvilinear surfaces, but as a surface, as a mesh, and then we can use the thicken command. We use the thicken command and convert them into 3D solid models. And finally, at the end, in the hope, with the expectation that we're gonna 3D print this. If it's a solid model, it will be 3D printed, and meshes are not normally 3D printed. Okay, so I'm gonna go back and line work and turn off my blue layer, and the reason, as you know, we are doing this one so that we can see the line work better. Okay, so let's go to back and focus back today. Okay, most of the difficult curves are done, but back is specifically challenging, because of the reason that there's an unexpected, only different design in the back. Normally, we don't have the engines in the back. In most of the time, production cars have the engines in the front. We have the engine in the back. That's why the back design of the Lamborghini Gallardo is not correct. It's not classic. So I'm going to go with focusing on these two lines. Okay, this one and this one, and use the rule surf command. Okay, and instead of finding the rule surf on the screen, I usually type it. Right, and select line, two lines, one after another. Okay, now something did not go right, and then I can see right now this one end is off. I expect the surface to run from here to from this line to this line, and then one end just escaped. So how do we correct that? I'm going to use the stretch command. Stretch command is a lifesaver in situations like this, because the only thing is you have to pay attention. You click on a point blank space on the right hand side, and then click on the blank space on the left hand side to select the end. Then you select the stretch end and pull it all the way up to where it's supposed to be. Okay. And we can do the same thing, okay, on the opposite end. Okay, again, we're using the stretch command, enter. Okay, and select the end, and then pick the point where it is supposed to be. Okay, that's it. And we're going to continue. We're going to continue with the rest of it. So at this point, because it's the surface, we're going to convert it to the solid model. We're going to issue the command thicken command, thicken, enter. Okay, select the entity, the surface, click on the mouse button, enter. Now computer will dialog box comes out and asks you convert the selected objects to smooth 3D solid model surfaces. Yes. And now you wait a little bit, and then computer is asking you, what is the thickness? I am typing 0.2 inches so far. If it's necessary, we can increase that later on. This seems to be working right now, okay? Right, so thicken is worked, and the surface is created. So you choose the surface and press the right mouse button, go to quick properties, and change the layer from 0 layer to blue layer. And the reason we're doing that, because we don't want to be the surfaces in the way of lines that keeps me from seeing it. Okay, good. Save your work again, and this is how we go. All right, so at this point, we're going to create the other side of the side wall, and I mean, so we're going to use edge serve command. And for this side, and let me show you what lines to select. Okay, first of all, line number 1, line number 2. Remember, we need 4 lines. 3 lines is not enough. And unfortunately, there is only 3 lines here. But the good thing is I realized that it's not going to work. So I divided, I broke a line into 2 small pieces. Now we have 4 lines. Okay, and that will enable us the edge serve command. Okay, so I'm going with the edge serve again, enter, and I'm choosing the line number 1 and line number 2 and line number 3 and line number 4. I'm going to do this again one more time. Edge serve comes back. Line 1, and line 2, and line 3, and line 4. Okay, so I did not like one of the line ends are not meeting is very common problem. And so you need to test it out, see to make sure that all the line ends meet. Okay, and if this happens, do what I do, click on it, and see if the lines, when the line is moving, the other lines are moving together. Okay, and it's extremely important that line ends meet. Okay. One of the things I do also, just to make sure everything works fine, I use my UCS, user coordinate system, 0, point, okay, by typing UCS enter command. And that will happen usually. I pick the corner and I align my UCS to the surface that I'm creating. Okay, so I'm going to do this again one more time. That usually helps me. Yes. And this is one of the things occasionally I do when things do not work. So type edge serve and give it a try again. Number 1, number 2. Okay, so I'm going to discover what needs to be done specifically. Something is not, some line ends are not. Okay, so after trying a few times and I decided to change, decided not to use edge serve command. There's several ways of creating surfaces, and edge serve is not the only way to do this. So I want to try now different command called rule serve. Rule serve, RULESURF. So rule serve command is much simpler. Okay. Okay. So we're going to just simply click on this and quick properties and change layer. So we work. We're going to continue on the. For the rear mirror, we're going to use the hserv command. All right, so this is the back side, and the hserv command that beautifully worked. All right, so in order to decide what to do next, occasionally you want to turn on the current layer, the blue layer that's turned off, and just to see how it goes. Okay, and apparently we need the hood. Hood is there in place. Okay, and the right side needs to be copied to the left side. Okay, and the back of the cut needs to be done. And we're going to do this just in a second. So the orbit command really helps position the car. And here is what we're aiming to, 4 lines or so there is a line, missing line here. And I'm going to add a spline here to just replace the missing line. We have 3 lines working nicely. So spline command, okay, I'm just going to type the spline command and start from this end. Power line, I'm going to turning up the midpoint and nearest point. Nearest point. Okay, end point and nearest point. Okay. And Spline works beautifully. Okay. So we have one spline, and we're going to now use the edge surf command. Okay. All right. The process is pretty much the same. We're going to thicken this and then change the layer to 0, blue layer, and then it's going to disappear. Again, let's turn on the blue layer temporarily just to see what it looks like. Okay, are we completely finished in the back? Almost. We're getting there, but we're not completely finished in the back yet. As soon as we're finished, like two, three other surfaces here in this area and in this area, we're going to symmetrical copy, is a mirror copy on the other side. And we'll be done. Then we can start with the windows and perhaps the wheels. Okay. Edge serve command. Edge serve command, enter. Okay, we need to select the corners. And the process is pretty much the same as we did before. Second. Enter. Wait until the computer responds. We're going to use the same thickness. Okay, accept that. And then select the entity. Quick properties. And layer blue. Okay. And we're going to do the same. All right, this is the line, 4 lines that I'm going to use the edge sort command to create the corner. Okay. So the surface is created, and maybe you want to see how the surface is created. Let me demonstrate one more time. Command is edge serve, enter, and you choose the M direction, you choose N direction, zoom in, you choose the M direction, and you choose the N direction. The surface is created. Okay? And then now we're going to use thicken, enter, enter, select enter, convert. Computers, wait for the computer, it will ask you the thickness, 0.2 is fine. Good. All right, so one last part on the back of the car, trunk of the car. So we have this line, we have this line, we have 4 lines. Okay, this line, and we have this line. Okay, let's do it. Try it. Okay, and edge surf. Select the line in M direction and N direction. M direction and N direction. Very good. Okay. And now we're going to thicken. Okay. I will demonstrate the mirror copy command. Okay, next class, next session of the video. Thank you very much for your time.